Yes, please, if you can. Thank you very much for the invitation. And as I come from Energy Agency, our work is dedicated to work on the field. So I will show today or share with you our experience, which we gained through everyday life, everyday work with the primary, pre-elementary and secondary school in the region of Podravje and city of Maribor, which is the second biggest in Slovenia. So if we are talking about the sustainable energy, I will start with a little bit as less words as possible, because there is a lunch, and I also think that understand the sustainable development is also to understand the people, because there is a social component, and to respect. It doesn't matter of the color of the skin, it doesn't matter of the way of the life, and it doesn't matter also about how we behave. We have to respect this, I think, excellent way of the human being. But it's not only the human being, it's also the animals and the people. You can go a little bit quicker, yes. And there are also the animals, and there are also... yes. Yes. And there is also living beings that are sometimes not respected by the humans, but we think that we all, as a part of our life on Earth, we can deserve to have a better. And there is a nature, not living nature, but it's also sustained or essential that we can live on. And without respecting all this, I think all other things are not important, and our life will not go on. But despite also the nature, there is also the culture. To respect the culture and to know the history, the development in these fields, and to think about working is also the part that we can we have to respect and that we can rely on. But now we can tell a little bit about the sustainable development also. So what is sustainable development really in the life? So that we have to give, or we would like to give, the life that we live together with all the good things to in the future, to our children, in the way that we live at the moment, but even if it is possible to be better. And also it means that we solve the problems, not only discuss about them and to give them to our children. So I think this is something very important. And if we look what is happened today in teaching materials, many schools and teachers are still using this old-fashioned teaching system that we just ask the questions and our children have to read through the books and answer the right questions. The teacher always says, yes, this is the right and this is the wrong questions. But if we look in the future, what will happen with our children? We have to ask them really, do they understand? Do they think about the question? And if we use only the books, and if they learn only the books, there is the saying on the top that teaching only from the books will really preserve them to gain the results from their experience. And sometimes, you know, all the facts in the head, they flew away just like this, but if we have experience, if we can feel it, hear it, there is then the reason. They look like this every day, but in the future they will make our pensions going on in the field, so we have to rely on them, and we have to teach them like this, and we will be happy also when I will be 60 or 70 and think about this. So when we talk about the teacher, so teacher doesn't matter if they don't know to explain very well about the sustainable development, because sometimes it's very scientific words, but on the other hand, if you respect all these social, economic, environmental and cultural dimension of it, if we understand it, if we respect it, our behavior will be like this, that the children will understand more than 1,000 words we usually say. So we should set for them individual aims and what we want them to achieve, the mosaic, because the life is the mosaic of the energy, of the history, of the everyday problems of the health. And if we think about only how to get the knowledge to them, it's like, to throwing behind him the knowledge, but they are searching, because the human beings, we are happy that we are like this, that we are searching always for something new, for some more experience. And it's like catching them, and it's not very good if they always run away in front of us. So when teaching about the environment and sustainable development and energy, we would like, that children would follow us and listen to us, not just, give them everything in their head. So the most, how to implement, it's nice to say, and it's quite easy to say, but it's very difficult how to implement it in the everyday life. So we always, when we work with the children, leave the children to explore the nature, to discover the problems, and try to solve them on their own way, to think about it. So, and we don't have to think about some very theoretical problems. There are problems all around us, and these are really everyday problems that we have at home, at school, at the municipality. Now, even when the economic crisis is here, also at the national government level, we have a problem. And there are not, that we should only ask them what is the solution, but to discuss with them about the solution, the possibility. Sometimes they have a crazy idea, but if we look 20 years behind or 30, there are some ideas that were really crazy at that time, but today we all use the wireless internet to see and talk, over the ocean and everything. So it's very important. So if we see, the teaching is really like that we give them the tools and the ways to show them how they can solve the problem, see the problem, and then they can make their own proposal and they can get their own experience. There will be many times the wrong ways, but also the wrong ways are a part to getting the solution. And I think the sustainable development and teaching about the environment, especially climate changes and energy, is the subject that we can really give them all this very complex thing. And there is another saying about the children, that they will create the future, and they will solve the problems that will be in the future, and they will be on their own. There will not be any teacher or me or us there to help them, and they will have to find their own solution, and this will be only possible when they will have any experience with it. We have to understand that they see the problems today, and if they understand and know how the problems are solved today, so they will be able to imagine or to find somewhere in the history how to solve the problems that will come in the future. And we know that there will be many problems also in the future. We can go. So the climate changes and sustainable energy, they are really real-life problems. Switching off the lights, they're saving the water, electricity, waste, and sometimes when we look at the children, they behave well when we ask them, but we have to ask ourselves, do they do the same also when they're at home in the afternoon? So do they live the life it's really in a sustainable way? We don't want them only to answer the right question about the renewable energy sources and that we have energy efficient lights, but we would like to be very critical to give the response. Also sometimes they don't agree with our proposal how to save the problem. So we want them to be very active part of the society and not only the passive listeners. Sometimes it's good because they are quiet and they are good, but it's much more better if they actively work with us and if they argue with us also. So, and when we talk with energy, it's very, very huge problems, and solving the problems is also giving the benefits for their own personal, for families, for schools, for municipalities. And also they can have a feedback, also that's some savings, for example, like we do in some schools, they save the energy, they save also the money, and then they can have this money or use it for some trips or to buy also some computers or do some works. And this is one example, so how we can connect with the different school subjects. So for example, to prepare the action plan for saving the electricity. They also can have ICT technology that will monitor the savings or energy use. They can calculate the savings and discuss about the investment of the efficiency bulb, so we can also improve the economy. They can use the energy bookkeeping, they can read from invoices and put in, so they can really solve this problem. Many of our children also do this energy bookkeeping at home, and there is many families that now use it as a, also the home bookkeeping system. They also can meet with experts to give advice how to save the energy. And also they present, for example, their ideas and their results to the mayor or to the city administration, that they are really the part of the discussion and the solving the problems. And we can go on. And here are also some examples of the work in the classes. So this is a theme about the energy use in houses. We also use the thermographic camera to see the energy losses in buildings, so we go out and see their school or kindergartens, and then they can make the models with very good insulation and bad one, and then we put the ice or hot water in there and we measure how it's really work. We can go on. There is electric bicycle and sustainable mobility, especially in big urban area. The traffic is a big problem. And we have each year in spring and then in autumn we use Sustainable Mobility Week, the special classes in the middle of the town. Everyone comes with a bicycle, also the mayor and city administration, and they drive around. They can also test and see the electric bicycle, and they can discuss about it. Also here are some experiments about the saving the hot water inside the water tank, for example with a heat pump or some heating systems. And here is some activities about the European Solar Days, when we invite all the schools, primary, secondary and preschools, to think about the sun, to make different paperworks, different models, and also we put all the suns on our glasses in the city so that everyone can see also that there is solar days or so in city of Malta. And here is for a little bit bigger children. They can make energy audits of their own big buildings. They are much better than sometimes the energy advisor, because the children are very exact. They find every window that it's not fitting. And they also go outside to see the biodiesel production, and they can see the filling station about the biodiesel, and they also can see the car with some other lorries. They can use this biodiesel, they can feel it, they can also smell it, and you see all the production, how it's come from the ground. And we have also many models how to use the solar energy, because especially young children, they like racing, so we have a race with the models of solar cars, which one is the faster, and we have also the different models, bigger one and smaller one, and they can also discuss not only about the solar and renewable energy system, but also about the physics, which one is faster because of the more solar panels, or which one have a better wheels or bigger wheels, or it's heavier or lower. Then are also some experiments about electricity, about the static electricity, they have to fit. About the wind, smaller, they are making some models, and they try to test it in the water, in the wind. And here is also the part of the solar heat to the finger, so this is the special model where you can make it from the special foil and put it on the finger, and if you put it in front of the sun or in the sun rays, they can really get really hot, and they get it's too hot for a finger, so they take it off, and they see that really we can burn the iron. And for smaller, there are coloring papers, but on the subject on energy. There are some energy sudoku, memory, snakes, and different games, but they are all related to the subject of energy, renewable energy, and savings. And everyone likes computer games. There are many sites with very good educational computer games, so that they can have different aims games. And here I think is the end of this is our web page where teachers, parents, and children can find educational materials for different levels. So they can find some pictures. And I think this is all from my side. We also present this our educational models in the framework of RETS project as our best practice. So, and now you have the question. Thank you.